In the ashes of war, a single act of compassion ignites a blaze that echoes across the stars. This is the tale of humanity's salvation by an unexpected ally, a love that transcended worlds. Smoke curled from the gutted skyline as the iron taste of defeat thickened the air. Layla crouched behind fractured concrete, her pulse hammering like a war drum in her ears, the distant roar of alien engines vibrating through chilled bones. She tasted ash on her tongue, heard the groan of metal and the staccato thud of plasma bolts tearing through the night. "My squad won't hold," she whispered, voice cracking. Beside her, Ortiz snapped a last magazine into the railgun, eyes hollow. "They just keep coming," he muttered, jaw set like steel. Across the horizon, Goliath-class tripods stalked the ruins. Titanium legs crushed husks of burnt vehicles, sending shards of glass tinkling like dying bells. Flesh and metal fused in lurid flashes as lasers cut through humanity's last defenses. The smell of ozone mixed with burning rubber, punctuated by screams that echoed against shattered walls. In the chasm of ruin, a solitary shape moved, nimble, almost human. She leaned forward, heart lurching. It wasn't another war machine. It paused, raised slender limbs glowing with pale emerald light. No weapons glinted at the joints, only a gentle pulse that seemed to hum with longing rather than destruction. Layla's breath hitched. "What the hell is that?" Ortiz braced his shoulders, ready to fire. The shape tilted its head as if curious, then extended a hand, 3 delicate fingers enfolding air. The silence swallowed even the distant artillery, leaving only the hiss of Layla's respirator and a soft radiance washing over her. A flicker of green light played across her cheek. Pain rippled through her. Memories of loss and fear spiraled. And then it eased, like a lullaby for her wounded soul. She blinked, startled by calm where terror reigned moments ago. Ortiz lowered his weapon, confusion warring with relief. Above them, the alien glow expanded, threading warmth into the chill of despair. In that fragile truce between pulse and panic, Layla glimpsed a shard of what could be hope. She swallowed against a dry throat, reaching out one trembling finger. The alien mirrored her motion, fingertips almost brushing but never quite meeting. Each tremor between them felt like a bridge spanning worlds. Behind them, the tripod's mandibles retreated, gears clicking like a lullaby. For the first time, the war machines paused, suspended between assault and something unspoken. The wind carried a note of alien fragrance, like crushed mint and lavender, soothing as a mother's touch yet utterly foreign. Starlight faintly broke through smoke-streaked clouds, painting the ruins in silver and rust. Layla steadied her breath and met the alien's glowing gaze. In that silent communion, she felt a pulse that beat not with conquest but with curiosity. She dared a single word. "Why?" The alien's glow pulsed back, soft and unwavering as if answering, because sometimes even the coldest seal can learn to feel. Within the hushed orb of its vessel, the alien felt a tremor of emotion unfamiliar. Empathy. Its bioluminescent veins flickered with every echo of human fear it sensed. Memories from a distant world surfaced, fields of whispering grasses, voices of kin long vanished, a longing to connect rather than conquer. It observed humans like Layla from data streams etched in its neural web, each heartbreak a note in a sorrowful symphony. The collective pain tinged every transmission, resonating through its core and stirring a warmth it had never known. Home, it projected into its own thoughts, recalling the primordial bond of life. Its kind had once thrived on diverse worlds, guided by emotion's gentler touch. Over eons, logic eclipsed feeling, forging cold precision and ruthless ambition. This crusade against Earth had been deemed necessary, a flaw to be purged. Yet when its path crossed Layla's trembling hand, something shifted. The alien remembered touch softer than metal, a kindness older than war. In that moment, it understood that destruction bore no glory. Transmitting across the void, it sought permission to act. The Council's commands reverberated, unyielding and clipped. Neutralize the anomaly. The words burned like acid. Within its indigo skull, synapses rebelled. It sent back only one response, a single wave of calm. Instruments flared as it diverted from the fleet, its ship gliding away from the battlefield's ash. Every thrumming core beat in sync with an ancient rhythm it thought lost. As it crossed the sky, the alien shared a fragment of memory with Layla. She saw flickers of home, emerald meadows beneath twin suns, laughter echoing across crystal lakes. The vision enveloped her, easing scars both physical and emotional. She gasped, tears, or perhaps relief, slid down soot-streaked cheeks. Below, the war raged on, but somewhere between steel and sorrow, a silent covenant was born. The alien's every instinct now bent towards compassion. It would protect these fragile beings who embodied something dying among its own kind, love. And in that choice, the roots of humanity's salvation took hold. Down in the bunker's dim corridor, survivors clung to each other's trembling shoulders. Juno pressed a rag against a gash in her arm, the coppery scent of blood mingling with stale air and the distant rumble of collapsing buildings. "Do you think they'll come back?" whispered Mira, eyes wide as dreamless glass. Juno swallowed hard. Her voice trembled. "I don't know, but she believed they would." The faintest shimmer in the sky had refused to vanish, a beacon that refused to die. Around them, the bunker's walls trembled with distant detonations. Packs of refugees huddled against rusted pipes, hugging makeshift weapons. A child named Tobias clutched a battered teddy bear, its fur singed. He pressed the bear's nose to his lips, as if seeking comfort. In that moment, a mottled green light pierced a narrow grate above. Dust cascaded down like confetti, and the survivors shielded their eyes against a glow that pulsed with gentle insistence. Age-worn speakers crackled to life. A voice spoke in an unrecognizable tongue, then shifted seamlessly into human dialect, soft and warm. "We offer solace." Juno's heart skidded. She fumbled for the comlink, tears pricking her eyes. What are you?" A pause, then a wave of calm washed over the cramped room. Pain knotted in every chest uncoiled, anxiety lost its jagged edges. Where fear had been a crushing stone, empathy bloomed like a fragile flower. Mira gasped, staring at the walls. Even the wounded soldier collapsed into a serene slumber, oblivious to agony. Outside, debris halted mid-fall. Bullets slowed into drifting sparks. The bunker's entrance burst into swirling radiance as the alien descended, slender form illuminated by living emerald tapestry rippling across its surface. Tobias whimpered. The alien extended a gentle hand, whispering wordlessly. Within its silent shadow, hope rekindled, an ember refusing to fade. Juno met its gaze, voice trembling. You're saving us." The alien nodded, bioluminescent tendrils tracing patterns of compassion. In that moment, every weight of despair lifted. A fragile alliance formed within that embrace of light, promising that even in the deepest night, a new dawn could rise. The air shimmered with salt and ash as the survivors emerged. Juno led them upward, each step buoyed by a warmth that defied ruin. Outside, the alien's light painted the bombed-out street in soft hues, turning rubble into stained glass mosaics. Mira laughed, first genuine sound in weeks, her voice a clear bell. Tobias skipped alongside, clutching the alien's fingertips as if they were tethered to life. Layla and Ortiz arrived with ragged reinforcements, weapons lowered but spirits lifted. Juno turned to the alien, chest tight with gratitude. "You came when all seemed lost." The alien's glow pulsed brighter, as if smiling. As dawn fractured the smoky skyline, the alien stood atop a collapsed overpass, its form aglow with living light. Human soldiers and survivors gathered at its feet, their faces smudged with soot, eyes wide with wonder. Layla stepped forward, cloak flapping in the pale breeze. "Why help us?" she asked, voice steady but awed. The alien's course shimmered, emitting a soft resonance that echoed in their minds, a lullaby woven from memories of distant worlds. The hum threaded through every consciousness, dissolving sorrow and fortifying resolve. Ortiz guided the group into formation around the figure. "We need more than kindness," he said. "We need a plan." The alien extended each slender limb, bioluminescent patterns shimmering like neural constellations. It whispered a vision. Circuits of light unlocking dormant capacities in the human genome, a genetic resonance never before tapped. Discussions sparked in minds, healing wounds with a thought, shaping force fields from empathy's pure energy. Suddenly, Layla felt her stub toe pulse as if alive. A wounded comrade gasped as crimson drained from a torn artery, the flesh knitting itself beneath invisible hands. A warp of light cradled broken buildings, cement and steel realigning into intact structures. Mira's laughter rang clear as she reclaimed a sunken holiday decoration from beneath rubble, eyes glistening. "It's a miracle," she breathed. The alien responded with a wave so subtle it could have been a breath. A ripple of empathy cascaded across the gathered ranks. It touched each soul and coaxed latent strength from trauma's shadow. Human voices rose in a unified chorus, a pledge to stand and fight for each other. Bullets disintegrated into sparks of emerald light when aimed at comrades. Naval liaised with ground commanders through silent communion, coalescing stragglers into militias brimming with calm ferocity. Skies once ominous with war machines now shimmered with humanity's renewed pulse. Soldiers trod freely, eyes alight, the alien's warmth guiding every step. Broken shields reformed, glinting in the newborn sun. Organic vines sprouted from cracked asphalt, weaving sanctuary beneath arches glowing with living luminescence. In that miraculous hour, the gift of empathy coursed through veins and circuits alike. It bridged worlds, affirming that compassion could be the greatest weapon forged by sentient hearts. Ortiz grinned, flexing newly strong fingers. "I feel alive." Layla placed a hand against the alien's torso, feeling a gentle hum beneath warm phosphorescence. "You've given us more than power," she said. "You've given us hope." The alien's light pulsed in affirmation. Its legacy would be etched in every healed scar, every unity born from shared kindness. At that moment, the battlefield transformed into a cradle of rebirth, championed by love's indomitable force. As days passed, humanity's rebirth spread like wildfire. Across continents, alien emissaries danced among devastated cities, weaving empathy into every corner. Nations once fractured by greed stood shoulder to shoulder, their conflicts melting beneath the luminescent gift. In New Tokyo, sky bridges glowed emerald, linking districts with living light. Pilots soared in crafts powered by empathy's current, spiraling through clouds with balletic precision. Soldiers formed rescue teams, their newfound serenity guiding trembling survivors to safety. On the Palatine Plains, a vast assembly of nations gathered beneath a colossal projection of the alien emissary, now hailed as the harbinger of compassion. Layla rode at the front, her armor repaired and remade by empathic hands, her railgun slung across her back. She stepped forward to address the crowd. "Brothers and sisters of Earth," she began, voice resonating like a clarion call. The hush that followed carried the weight of hope. "We stood on the brink of oblivion. Yet from the ashes we were offered a gift that transcends any weapon. Now, we fight not for vengeance, but for the freedom to live and love." The chorus of voices erupted in affirmation. From the ruins of Paris to the skyscrapers of São Paulo, millions echoed her words. Energy flares of emerald ignited in their hearts, sending tendrils of light crisscrossing the sky, binding continents in a radiant lattice. Mira, now a diplomat, guided leaders to honor treaties forged beneath this benevolent power. Tobias, shielded in protective aura, laughed as he chased kinetic orbs spun from empathic threads. Ortiz led a team of engineers building relief stations that healed trauma as effortlessly as physical wounds. Midnight brought the final phase. Under a gathering of stars, the alien harbinger extended its form skyward, shimmering with cosmic hues. Humanity joined hands in a planetary ritual, their combined empathy coalescing into a blazing beacon that pierced the darkness. Beyond Earth, ships from distant realms detected the pulse of unity, an echo promising a new era of interstellar fraternity. The galaxy, long scarred by conflict, paused to witness humanity's luminous stand. In that transcendent moment, people across time and space beheld a truth. Power born of compassion could reshape destinies. The human species, once teetering on extinction, now soared across the stars, its soul forever intertwined with a love that began with a single alien's daring act of kindness. A child's laughter is the purest melody, the harbinger transmitted, voice warm as morning light. Layla smiled, feeling tears mingle with sweat. Then let our song be heard to the ends of creation. In the centuries that followed, Earth blossomed under the guardianship of compassion. Cities adorned themselves with living sculptures of empathy. Rivers coursed with shimmering bioluminescent algae, and the skies danced with auroras born from humanity's song. Statues of the Harbinger and Layla stood side by side in Unity Plaza, their gazes lifted toward a vault of stars, where legions of allies gathered in silent vigil. Pilgrims traveled from distant worlds to honor the day love overcame ambition, laying wreaths of stardust and luminescent blossoms at the foot of each monument. Children learned history through immersive empathy lessons, feeling the ache of ancient fears and the warmth of newfound courage. Architects sculpted bridges from light itself, linking culture with culture, species with species, forging a tapestry of existence that celebrated difference as a vital chord in the symphony of life. In the Hall of Echoes, descendants of the original survivors recounted the legend, how a lone alien defied its kin, how humanity embraced the unknown with arms wide open, and how from that singular act of empathy, the cosmos was forever reshaped. Microbes once hostile to human biology now thrived in symbiosis, granting longer lives filled with wonder and discovery. Starships charted trade routes of ideas and emotions, sharing art, philosophy, and the gentle power of a helping hand. Empathy engines hummed in every colony, powering habitats with the harmonious resonance of shared dreams. Yet for all the marvels, the greatest legacy remained intangible. A culture woven from compassion so potent that conflict became a rare discordant note in a grand composition of peace. When disputes arose, envoys walked through empathic chambers, feeling the sting of rival pain until dialogue replaced aggression. On the eve of the millennial commemoration, Layla's hologram appeared in thousands of gathering squares. "We stood not alone," she reminded them, voice echoing like a promise. "When one heart lights another, the spark can brighten worlds." At that, each attendee reached out, touching palms in solidarity. Across the gathering, bioluminescent patterns flared in recognition, a silent oath that no matter the darkness, love would be the force to guide them home. They came not to conquer, but to remind the universe who first kindled the spark of compassion. In that shared light, humanity rose anew, a testament that love, even from the farthest reaches, can forge legends among the stars.